really awkward type of HD because it's their own unique ratio.
You watch Adventure Time, right?
A small bit.
Look what I got for the girlfriend.
This is. You can open it.
It was open already.
Oh,
It's going there. It's a bit yellow.
you're a bit yellow.
Who cares? Show a little bit. It's Gunter. Gunter's the best. That show is also the most fucked up thing in the world.
They've gone overboard now.
They're just slowly. They've done what they meant to. Is they slowly revealed the storyline. Like it's all fucked up. There's no happy endings anywhere here.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, oh yeah, you're very smart. Your kids' show turned out to be a nuclear wasteland.
I think it's. I enjoy it. I enjoy it because it's also nonsensical at the same time. So what's the?
We're live.
Good to know. Hello everyone, welcome to Modern Wednesdays here in Gamers World. I'm Eamon Jones.
This is Dave C.
We're here on behalf of Pyromancer Games, and we're off to a start here. We have Red Black Kiln Fiend with Owen O'Brien, or Vin as we lovely affectionately call him, and Darren Leamy also with a different type of Kiln Fiend deck. Although I think it's more
Strictly
of a...
better Kiln Fiend. It has blue in it.
That's true. Blue is for Gitaxian Probes, whereas Owen, his black one is for more Disruption. Which, or no, it's for hand control, isn't it?
I'm not sure. We don't have the list exactly in front of us. It could also just be to, you know, not have steam vents.
That's true.
But I guess you can play Polluted Delta as well, which Owen probably owns. I'm not sure of actually the differences. I know that Blue has Distortion Strike, for example.
Yes.
Blue also had some draws. It has Gitaxian Probe. I think it has Serum Visions as well.
Probe is a big one.
Yeah.
So we have a Polluted Delta fetch into a steam
so
fence.
it's basically, this is what I remember. Distortion Strike versus the Tainted Strike.
The
That's
infect.
That's basically what we have here. Vin basically has extra copies of what is essentially more Assault Strobes.
Yes.
Because they both do very similar. Double Strike and giving him poison are essentially the same thing.
Yes.
So he has 8, I think it's 6 to 8 copies of
Yeah.
Assault Strobe, so he's a bit more combo-y. But the blue version gets stuff like Gitaxian Probe, it gets Serum Visions.
Yeah.
So it's probably a bit more consistently damage based opposed to combo-y, but they're both pretty combo-y.
Absolutely.
Blue sometimes has the Cyclops as well.
Yeah. So we have a steam vents into a Delver, and Vin just having a quick read. Delver flips a lot in this deck.
Yeah, Darren already down to 17, which is pretty crucial here, but looking to clock Vin very fast back with the Delver of Secrets.
Yeah, yeah. We saw last week where Vin was taking on a Titan Bloom deck. Life totals, he can just kind of go to the wall with life totals, whereas in this one, there is going to be a lot of life total counting.
They're both going to be a bit more conservative because they're counting in their ace as well. Darren drawing his card for the turn. No flip from the Delver, which is pretty fortunate for Vin here. Darren falling to 16 already. Vin on 18 because of shotgun from the Monastery Swift Spear.
Yeah, Darren finding a Kiln Fiend though.
Kiln Fiend very important here. In for 1, because might as well.
Yep,
He's not doing any blocking that turn.
And we have another Polluted Delta, and we're going to get the fetch and probably the Kiln Fiend. I imagine.
Probably also a basic land here. Taking another shock is probably something you can't afford to be doing.
Yeah. Which
Oh no, full shock.
No fear, zero fear.
No fear. He has a plan.
Yeah, his hand felt more full of spells. Oh, and we see a lightning bolt come to the front of Vin's grip.
He knows what's happening. And lightning bolt's going to be super important here, clearing the way for the Swift Spear. Also, if Darren
Ever points any sort of relevant spell.
well, if Darren is clumsy enough to block to kind of call Vin's bluff for any reason here, Vin's going to get the 2 for 1 him.
Yeah, which is going to be pretty incredible. So
Is that a second lightning bolt I might see from Vin? Double lightning bolt might be juicy this turn, but he's probably just going to
yep. So
see if
play
he
out the
attacks
land.
first, or is he just adamant on destroying the guy? We might be doing some mats. Here we have a the Niv.
I like that. I like that play. That's a strong play.
The Elemental. You might as well in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you fire off the lightning bolt now?
I would have, I think, but I think Vin
Want to get some value?
I think Vin is conserving it for a. Still no flip from the Delver. Vin is conserving it to go off, I think.
What did he draw there?
Cyclops.
Nivix Cyclops.
Nivix Cyclops.
Yeah.
The one that like flips its power and toughness. Oh no, it gets +3 and can attack or something.
Yeah, it's a
It's another Kiln Fiend.
0-3 with Defender, but it gets +3/+0 and can attack.
Okay, jigs up here. Vin has to show his whole hand. We see 2 Apostles blessing a Kiln Fiend.
Nivix Cyclops, or not Nivix Cyclops.
Another Elemental.
Nivmagus Elemental.
Nivmagus Elemental and a Lightning Bolt. So Vin being a bit conservative with this Lightning Bolt in his hand, but as we said, might be setting up for some kind of win next turn. If you could eat both of those blessings, that's +4, plus a lightning bolt, that's +3, plus a trigger, that's 3 triggers of
Swift
prowess.
and
That's
make this, yeah.
3, so that's Vin representing 12 damage with a land draw here.
And Darren's on 10 life. I mean,
Yeah, so he was conserving the lightning bolt because he thought that he could maybe kill his opponent next turn.
yes.
And worst comes to worst, he's missing 1 point by not lightning bolting straight away. But he could lightning bolt here, for example, and get that distortion strike, not to flashback.
Well, how big is Kiln Fiend right now after the
Just-
Gitaxian Probe?
Gitaxian Probe and I've been using it now, getting let's see if he gets a mountain or full shock. Gitaxian Probe +3, Distortion Strike +1, and Distortion Strike trigger for the Kiln Fiend is 1, another +3. So he's 8 damage at the moment coming over for Vin.
Which,
I thought Vin might be holding this to try and get him next turn,
yeah.
but especially because that Delver didn't attack, maybe it's just right to...
Yeah, it might be.
maybe he's being a bit risky. Those perfect information. Oh, an Apostle's Blessing. And Vin's dead.
Yeah.
Vin died.
That just happened.
The Apostle's Blessing got him. That was very unfortunate. I think Vin maybe could have waited to
Yeah, absolutely.
try and win on his turn, but if the Apostle's Blessing was there, the Delver was always going to be able to block. So, interesting game there.
Yeah, because I think Vin wasn't forced into that Apostle or into that lightning bolt at all.
I'm not sure if he's forced into the scoop either, but I don't think he can win. He took 1, he was down to 15 from the fetch.
Yeah.
Then the Kiln Fiend was coming over from 3 triggers equals 9 plus his own power 10.
Yeah.
Plus Distortion Strike 11. So Vin was on 5, but I guess he knew what was in hand. And the 2 lands in play that he couldn't
Couldn't put it together.
He couldn't draw a win. He could maybe get Assault Strobe plus give protection.
Yeah.
But that's only 7. That's 14.
Yeah.
So
I think
maybe,
he could
maybe a bit premature scoop there.
Yeah.
But maybe we're miscounting. Maybe we miscounted the life total. So we'll see in this game.
Hold on. So there was a Gitaxian Probe, the Blessing
Not that I think we have that turn right, but maybe we had
previous turn.
his life total wrong.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. But we'll see. Anyway, it's this is definitely, there's a lot of things going on. Like, I think once it hits about turn 3, there's just a lot of spells being slung, and there's a lot going to be going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage between fetching and their own spells. There's an awful lot of damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we get sideboarding from the 2 guys. Not sure what they're going to bring in and out here. We don't have deck lists in front of us at the moment.
I can imagine if they have some number of, say, Dispel would be an excellent one.
The spell would be okay, but your guy, the problem with the spell is, and the problem with this matchup is the Cyclops, not the Cyclops, the Elemental can still eat the spells on stack.
Sure.
So it becomes less good in prowess.
Only your own.
Yeah, but it can just eat the thing that's being dispelled a lot of the time.
Okay.
If you play it like that, it's still not bad. But I think sometimes that isn't great if elementals are involved. Also, prowess triggers, no matter what, whether the spell is counter or not, are going to go on the stack.
That's fair.
So the spells maybe not at their best, but maybe you have to use them to get around blessings.
Or to stop strobes or things like that. I mean, I think the fact that it counters, what, like 50% of your opponent's deck, that's got to be looked at.
It has to be looked at.
Those spells do things besides just, say, instant or sorcery. You know?
There's always the downside, though, in this. If you're bringing in stuff like the spells, and they're probably going to bring in Vin, for example, probably has some kind of Inquisition mix.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That you don't want to dilute your deck, so you're left with, you go turn 2 Kiln Fiend or turn 1 Elemental, and you're left with these spells in hand that you awkwardly have to cast and eat with the Elemental instead of use. Like, you can't just play it and make your opponent respond and then still eat it with the Elemental.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful. These are fairly massive moving part decks.
Yeah. What would be for the black side, for Vin side? What would be your thoughts on the riskiest slaughter pact ever?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I guess cards that let your opponent think he can go for it safely and then blow him out.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably play slaughter packs if they're on the board, 1 or 2. But again, we're not sure of Vin's exact sideboard today.
Yeah.
Guys shuffling up. Vin's going to be on the play for this one, which is essential in this matchup.
Yeah, it's being on the play is a huge benefit, but not always as relevant. Like, these decks are quite fast, but they're not so breakneck.
They're pretty breakneck, but in game 2 there's going to be a bit more grinding, a bit more dead cards if someone manages to Thoughtseize or to kill their or to kill another Thoughtseize, I mean like Duress or
Yeah.
Inquisition creatures and spells out of hand. Or as you said, maybe the Dispels are coming in from the board, stuff like that.
What I mean by breakneck though is, for example, the burn deck, it's going to go to about turn 3, turn 4, where you have to be playing all of your spells. That here, it's very much a finding your spot.
Yeah, sure.
So
you can definitely take one on the draw here. Just like getting Elemental out first seems pretty essential. This matchup, I think, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Or getting your Kiln Fiend attacking before he is.
Yeah.
So while you can definitely take the initiative off someone with faster starts and certain sideboard cards, having your Kiln Fiend out before your opponent seems pretty crucial.
Absolutely. So we can see hand there from Darren. He's got
Kiln Fiend, Mutagenic Growth, Vapor Snag, I think. His hand there, which could be a pretty big blowout combined with some other things.
So Bloodstained Mire fetch into, I assume we're going to see a Steam Vents.
Oh, you mean Blood Crypt?
You think it's Blood Crypt?
Well, he doesn't have Steam.
Sorry, you're right.
He's taking just Mountain this time, preserving the life total, knowing that maybe the shock last game could have cost him the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we might very much see Mountain Swamp here.
Yeah, and we'll get a Swift Spear as well, probably.
If he has Elemental, like I said, I really like Elemental in the matchup.
Yeah.
So that'll be better, but not Swift Spear. Gets in 19. This is the more traditional fair card, but probably more consistent.
Yes.
Swift Spear probably one of the best, if not the best, red one drop ever printed.
Yeah, it's really funny. Cans pushed hard.
It did with red cards if we look back on it, and considering how much hate was for them as well.
Yeah. So we have a
City of Brass.
Polluted Delta in the past. We've got a City of Brass.
Into 1 pain for black, and we get the first Duress of the game, first Duress effect.
It's going to be very strong.
Yeah, getting this, there's a Mutagenic, and there's 2 Strobes.
Okay.
Two Strobes and a Vapor Snag.
So the Strobes are staying there. I have to imagine it's either the Vapor Snag or the Mutagenic Growth are staying in hand.
Well,
or are coming out, one of those.
Taking a Strobe is pretty irrelevant. So I think maybe if you think you can win in the next 2 turns, you got to take that. You got to take that Snag. At the same time, next he goes Kiln Fiend next turn, and then he goes Strobe because it's just +3. It's just a giant growth.
Vin taking the Strobe there.
Yeah, it's just a giant growth effect.
Yeah,
I guess essentially he might be thinking.
Maybe, sure, but 2 of them is redundant. So
yeah, but Vapor Snag. Well, it's not redundant with a Kiln Fiend. Well, you're getting triggers, but the Vapor Snag is clearly better to take there. But maybe Vin has another discard card.
Yeah.
So if a Kiln Fiend comes out here, he's hoping to get the second Strobe with the thing, and he has a Bolt in hand as far as I can see as well. So maybe he just doesn't care about the Kiln Fiend and is trying to take explosiveness out of the hand instead of Vapor Snag, which isn't doing much against a Swift Spear. Now, if Vin has something like an Elemental or his own Kiln Fiend, not taking that Snag is going to come back to bite him. But otherwise, it's probably going to be fair.
Yeah. If he is resting on the Swift Spear, you can take a turn off to take it. It has haste, which is amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
So we get an untap and a draw, and we're going to see the turn 2 Kiln Fiend here.
Yeah, turn 2 Kiln Fiend.
It looks like it.
He might, if he's drawn a land, if Darren has drawn a land here, there is some pause to thinking that Vin has a Bolt. And if Vin does have a Bolt, your hand isn't very good. You have the Cyclops. Oh, Vin doesn't have a Bolt.
It's unfortunate.
You have the Cyclops, and or maybe he still does. No, that's a Kiln Fiend.
Yeah. So we're going to have our own Kiln Fiend. And do you swing in? Yeah.
You might as well. Like I don't think you block here, because you can just
pump it up in any number of ways and 2 for 1.
Yeah, and as I said, if this Kiln Fiend goes, there isn't much going on Darren's side.
Yeah. Oh well, 1 for 1, not 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to see
draw from Darren another Assault Strobe, so that Duress is basically negated.
Yeah.
Completely. Though with only that might have been a win, especially untapped land here. He has. Does he pick up the Blessing last turn as well? No, but he can go Vapor Snag here that Vin didn't take into Strobe, Growth, so that's game.
Yeah.
That is the game. And the attack, you're saying before blocks, Vapor Snag. But we need the Blessing here.
He has the Blessing. He does have it.
Blessing for Pro Blue. So now this Assault has... Yeah, he's used an Assault Strobe, so this Assault Strobe is going to go to waste by Darren.
Yeah.
Because we're going to get the chump. Not exact waste, because it's going to kill the Kiln Fiend.
Yeah.
We're going to chump here.
Vin taking 3 to do this.
Yeah, but
I definitely
three is better than dead.
Yeah, that Assault Strobe was, I think, a little bit premature.
Yeah. Also, sorry, these guys are trading.
Yes, they are trading.
Yeah.
Kiln Fiend.
Oh.
No, Kiln Fiend only gets plus. Because of the Assault Strobe. Yeah, it attacks first.
Oh, double strike. Sorry, of course. Makes sense. I thought they were trading for a second, but of course, Assault Strobe doing more than actually giant coding the Kiln Fiend.
Yeah.
Here we have Vin with just the Swift Spear. It's going to be very hard for him to win off this. There's no.
Just pass back a turn.
Yeah. This is bad news. There's no become immense type effects out of that color combination, and
we saw it came down to that duress, that Vapor Snag just forcing the issue of.
Yeah. It seems with the way Vin's hand is set up, he's going to be in a lot of trouble anyway here.
Yeah.
But I think that duress maybe picked the wrong spell.
Yeah, because you could have used the Apostle's Blessing very defensively. Okay, so we've got a Nivix Cyclops. It's all foiled. It's very pretty.
And probably no attack here.
Well, yeah, you've gotten Vin knows most of your hand. You're not going to bluff him out. Okay, you've got a.
Well, there's another Assault Strobe in the hand.
That's true.
But maybe he's just waiting.
Yeah, he wants to get it all.
Yeah, I guess trading just for so a spear doesn't make much sense. No, that's still tapped, sir. They're Kiln Fiend in the past still.
Wow.
The Assault Strobe is not juicy enough, I think, in Darren's eyes. Just trading Assault Strobe for a guy is not what he wants to be doing in this position, apparently.
Yeah. There is also the problem with Niv Magus Elemental is you have to fire off the spell before you declare attacks, which does take some of the bite out of this deck, like the ability to kind of move your spells around in your hand to find the perfect place after blocks.
So we know Mutagenic Growth and Strobe in Darren's hand. He only has 2 cards left?
Yeah, looks like it. He's drawn a lot of land. These decks are very land-light, like 18 lands, 17 lands.
Maybe just complete fear of going for it in the face of 3 open mana from Vin. Maybe respecting that is a bit better here.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because Vin has so many cards in hand that if you're not killing him, you're probably signing your death warrant. You know, it's
eventually you can't just play draw go forever.
I understand that. Yeah. So we've got the Assault Strobe
for double strike on the Cyclops.
So it's now a 3/3 with double strike, I believe.
3/5 is it?
Oh, does it get +2/+2?
I don't know. We'll look it up now.
Yeah.
Just having a look at the exact text on the Cyclops. Like, there's been a couple cards like him that switch power toughness. Pump. I'm pretty sure he's just a big Kiln Fiend with Defender usually.
Personally, I miss Wee Dragonauts.
Such a good card.
Nivix Cyclops. Inbox. Oh goddamn.
Here we're getting a block just on the Cyclops. Damage dealt, 6 damage to Vin here. And I think that's all the effects.
Yeah, and
this is something I thought would be happening. One spell would be trading for one of Vin's cards, and Vin running out of creatures fast here. But tapped out, nothing to do. 1 card in hand. Vin knows that's a Mutagenic Growth, and if he can go for it somehow, if he has a Tainted Strike, maybe.
Looks like he's got 2 City of Brass in hand.
2 City of Brass.
So Nivix Cyclops, whenever you cast a spell, it gets +3/+0 and can't attack. So it's actually a 1/4. And it can attack. It doesn't have to.
Sorry, 1/4, not 0/4.
Yeah.
So it was 4 damage coming across, double strike from it, and got chumped by a Swift Spear that turn. So Vin trying to cobble together what could be a win here.
Just pass turn. I think he just has a bunch of lands. He's not even playing out a City of Brasses.
Yeah, he has City of Brasses in hand.
Wants it, but I think this is kind of telling at this stage for Darren that it's like, well, you're not going for it, and you're not playing out land. I don't think you have it. So
he's going to eat here.
Yeah, he's going to eat.
Good shot. Only good if Delver ever gets played, and none of Darren's spells were Delver, unfortunately.
And yeah, the lightning bolt resolves.
We have an attack, and unless there is some kind of protection shenanigans here on Vin's side, blocking is basically a Death Wish as well.
Yeah.
Block here.
Needs a lightning bolt maybe, and
passing priority. Mutagenic Growth, yeah, 3 lands.
And
there was a blessing, yeah.
Not doing much.
Not much. Both of them footed out actually pretty hard there in the end.
Yeah.
No, we didn't see any Tainted Strike or Assault Strobes from Vin, but we saw 3 from his opponent, and I think that's what that matchup's going to come down to 90% of the time.
It is kind of like when we've seen a few times, especially from Darren, when these decks go off, they go off really hard, but there is also the problem of they've
What-
got really inconsistent draws, and without any, I feel like 1 mana good cantrips like Preordain or whatever, you just can't smooth out your draws and really fix things.
For sure, a lot of moving parts and not a lot of space to build in the deck. You need your Gitaxian Probes, you need your Bolts, you need your Mutagenic Growths, you need your Blessings.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
need your Kiln Fiends, and you need your like your other creatures like the Elemental
Or the Delver. Yeah.
or the Delver. So there's so many moving parts, and there's such a tiny amount of room to move in deck building. It makes these decks.
Could you see with the slowing down of the format that it moves maybe towards a more prowess build if it is there, where you are playing Switchers and you're playing Abbott?
At
A
that,
lot of your spells are free.
at that point, I'm asking you, why aren't you just playing Burn?
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think that comes up a lot with this kind of combo deck. I like, if you're playing this deck, I think I might like Vin's approach
Of being a bit more disruptive.
a bit more. Like if you're playing Delvers, why aren't you Grixis Delver?
Sure.
Is there a big need not to just be Grixis Delver? Where with Vin's approach, he has the Tainted Strikes and the Assault Strobes. He's a lot more combo. He's like, my Kiln Fiend or my 1-drop is going to kill you by turn 3 if I get my good hand. That is what I am attempting to do. It is different from what other decks besides maybe Infect does a very similar thing.
Yeah.
But I'm using different cards to Infect. So I understand why Vin's deck exists.
Yeah.
While I'm not saying Darren's deck is bad by any stretch of the imagination. I think if I was in Darren's shoes, I would prefer maybe to have just straight Delver list.
Absolutely. Because we've seen in previous seasons of the Modern League here, Darren going off really hard. Like turn 3 doing 16 damage.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
the potential of those decks, like Burn can't do that. You know what I mean?
No.
That is something that Burn can't do. Twin can't win on turn 4 or on turn 3.
It
Yeah.
wins exactly turn 4.
It wins exactly turn 4. So yeah, it's pretty strong. So Dave's going to step out